Hello, everybody. On this episode of Voices, Big and Small, we're gonna have another tribute piece here. A couple months back, of course, I did a tribute piece on Michael Lindsay, who had passed away last year. Today, I'm going to do a tribute piece on Brice Armstrong, the former Funimation voice actor who retired back in 2009. Um, about 7 weeks ago, he passed away. I was first alerted to this by, of course, Nick Rekieta. He mentioned it on his. He didn't. I don't think he knew what Bryce's name was, but when I looked it up, I realized who it was who passed away. So we're gonna look at Bryce's career as as a Funimation voice actor. Most of you would probably know him best as the narrator's voice from the Dragon Ball series, from the first season of Dragon Ball. Um, and with that, we'll look at that and other works he's done. Okay, so with no further ado, let's get started. Brice Weeks Armstrong, born January 3rd, 1936, passed away January 10th, 2020. So as I said, he passed away about 7 weeks ago, making him 84 years old. Was an American anime voice actor who primarily worked on properties of Funimation. As I mentioned earlier, you know, many of you would remember him as the voice and narrator from the first Dragon Ball season. So let's look back on the works of Brice Armstrong here. Um, as I said, he was of course, one of his first roles that he was cast in with Funimation in 2001 was as the narrator in Dragon Ball during the tournament saga. Um, he was also cast as the English voice of Lord Slug in the. In fact, that was his title. That was the title character. In fact, in the Dragon Ball Z movie, Lord Slug. Um, During the Emperor Pilaf saga of the TV series, he was cast as the narrator as well as Black Rabbit. And also in 2001, he was cast in Blue Gender as the English voice of Chairman Victor, along with additional voices in the series. Now, as we move ahead to 2002, throughout the season of Dragon Ball, the very earliest one, he was the narrator. Um, he was the narrator for the first Dragon Ball series, the one before Z. Um, also, also in 2002, he was cast in Yu Yu Hakusho as a number of characters, including Tanaka, the Yusuke's vice principal. I always liked that character because he was one of he was. It seemed like he was of the three teachers that interacted with Yusuke the most. He was the only one who saw the potential in him and wasn't trying to give him a hard time, unlike the other two. The rat-faced teacher Kachi, who was of course voiced by Sean Schemmel, and Iwamoto, who was voiced by the late Ed Blaylock. But let's see. So for Brice, he was cast as Tanaka, as well as Mitamura, who was the sensei of the three humans who were experimented on during the Dark Tournament saga. Um, Kogyoku, and Captain Thug One. Again, these are some, the captain who took them over to the island during the Dark Tournament saga. Then he was also in 2002 cast as Daloom, an elder in the Lupin the Third special, The Secret of the Twilight Gemini, which was dubbed by Funimation. Also in he was cast as his grandfather and grandpa in Fruits Basket in 2002, as well as and then he was also cast as Captain Ginyu in the Dragon Ball Z. He was Captain Ginru in the Dragon Ball Z franchise. Here, in 2002, he was cast Captain Ginru in the video game Budokai, Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Of course, and moving ahead to 2003, he was cast. 2003, he was during the Path to Power special for Dragon Ball. He was once again cast as a narrator. In the Lupin the Third Dragon of Doom special, he was cast as Chin Chin Cho in the Funimation dub of that special. He was also cast as Brad in the Lupin the Third special, Voyager to Danger. We move ahead now to 2004, where he was cast in Kitty Grade as the English voice of the Inspector and Robo Butler. Was cast as Nick Weldon in the English voice of Nick Weldon in Funimation's dub of Case Closed. And again, probably his second most famous role he had, aside from being narrator in the Dragon Ball, the first season of Dragon Ball. In 2004, he was cast as Dr. Tim Marco in the Full Metal Alchemist, the English voice of Dr. Tim Marco in Full Metal Alchemist. Also in 2004, he was cast as Raizo Shurinagadami in Funimation's dub of Spiral. He was cast as Council Member D in the Blue Gender movie The Warrior. He was cast as Lord Yao and a doctor in Dragon Ball GT: A Hero's Legacy special. And then in the BoJack Unbound Dragon Ball movie, he was cast as Yudo. Then as we move ahead to 2005, he was cast in Burst Angel as English voice of Chef Katsu. And then in the movie Farewell to Nostradamus, the Lupin the Third movie Farewell to Nostradamus, he was cast as English voice of Douglas. Probably okay. And then he was cast as Masamune in Samurai 7, the English voice of Masamune, Samurai 7, who handled weaponry for one of the samurais. And then in 2006, it's primarily additional voices in Desert Punk. And then the last of his probably big roles was as Lord Ieyasu in Basilisk. So those are primarily his anime credits. With Basilisk being, or with Basilisk being the last of his anime television credits. He would continue through 2009, doing like various video games for Funimation. Let's see. Many of the video games he would do after 2009 would they were all Dragon Ball Z games. So okay, there was one where he was actually half Half-Life for PS2 in 2001, in which he was Richard Keller in Heku Soldiers. He, of course, portrayed Captain Ginyu throughout the Dragon Ball Z franchise in the games, in Budokai games, Supersonic Warriors in 2004. Also in 2004, he was cast as Kagan Elite Blood Rain 2. Um, again, continue to be Captain Ginru throughout all the Dragon Ball Z games here. Budokai, Tenkaichi, Budokai Tenkaichi 2, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, then Burst Limit in 2008. So yeah, so after the last of his TV credits was in 2006, but he would continue on in video games, primarily doing reprising the role of Captain Ginryu in the Dragon Ball Z games. I think he also played Captain Ginryu in in the anime series too. Let me just double check that. Let's see. Yeah, in the remastered version of Dragon Ball Z, he was cast as Ginyu. So let's see. Some other roles he was also involved in include Igari Kanji in Baki the Grappler. Um, I mentioned Nick Weldon in Case Closed. He was also Einstein, Acherby, Gregor, Robert Gilmore, Shane O'Connor, Theodore Kinsella. And a lot of you probably know his voice because, especially if for those of you who are Dragon Ball fans, as I said, he was the narrator in the first season of Dragon Ball, and then he was Ginyu in Dragon Ball Z, and then in the movie Lord Slug, he was of course Lord Slug. Um, in episode 8 of Galaxy Railways, he was the English voice for Whitman. Um, and that's about. Oh yeah, Kogyoku was his Japanese name. It's Topaz, the axe wielding member of that team, I believe. But yeah, that's pretty much a lot of the stuff that Brice was involved in. I know, um, he was, passed away about 7 weeks ago. So I was, once I got back around to the Funimation portion of my rotation, I figured I would do a tribute on him. Yeah, so obviously, he was a good voice actor. I liked his work as Tanaka. You know, kind of brought in, of course, to do older characters. Much in the same vein like R. Bruce Elliott. R. Bruce Elliott now is taking over a lot of those roles. Um, But yeah, for those of you who remember him as a narrator from Funimation's dub of the first Dragon Ball season, he passed away 7 weeks ago. So with it, guys, as always, if there's a particular voice actor or actress that you guys want to meet, the way to do it is to get them invited to cons, and the way you do that is you, in a very polite and respectful manner, contact your local cons and ask them to you know, invite voice actors, invite the voice actors and actresses that you would like to meet. I hope that these videos, you guys are really watching these videos and taking a look at them and looking into like some of the other works that are out there. Um, so with that, if you guys want to check the link below, you can contact me directly through my Discord. Um, you can direct message me there. You want to check out my Discord and join, you're more than welcome to. I'm also promoting a bunch of different dub companies. Um, as well as still promoting GoFundMe's. As always, guys, never feel like you have to donate. If you have the means to and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you have already donated, please consider donating again. And if you um, are not able to donate, you can still help out the cause by sharing the link. Because after all, sharing is caring, and you never know. Maybe somebody in your circle of friends might see it and say, "Yeah, I want to help out too." Um, and with that, if you guys like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Um, I look forward to the conversations with you guys as long as it's civil and respectful. Um, and I hope I'll see you guys at the premiere. I know this is going to be a real short one. Sometimes they go long, sometimes they go short, um, depending upon how much the person's done. I usually try to make sure it's around 20 to 25 minutes, but sometimes it goes over, sometimes it goes under. This week we're going under because um, you know, because Brice didn't have as many, but he did have four. Brice did have four main roles, 4 or 5 main roles. You know, the narrator from Dragon Ball, Captain Ginru as well. Um, Tanaka from Yu Yu Hakusho, Dr. Tim Marco from Full Metal Alchemist, Masamune in Samurai 7, and Lord Ieyasu in Basilisk. So I hope I'll see you guys at the premiere on Friday. If I do not, then I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.